It's the kid trying to live, trying to exist. Okay, it's the Q&A, which happens every Friday. Let's roll it right through and make this happen. So, first question. Again, remember, guys, to get your question answered, head to the website, halfoffootballhot.com, top left-hand corner, ask HH. Send me that email, and then I will give you what you need. All right, let's roll. Farid El Dafrawi, who's the best Arab player ever and why? Great channel, and you deserve more subs. Thank you very much. Best Arab player. This is interesting. Technically, Zidane is Arabic. Like, on a technical level, he's from Algeria. And Algeria, I believe, have Arabic origins. So, I would say to him, you could say perhaps, you could also have an argument of Mesut Ozil, who is a Muslim as well, so maybe Arabic origins from there. So, but the name that comes off my head, it has to be Zidane. Because, yes, they say he's French and everything, but his originally, he originates from the land of Algeria. So I would say that it is actually Zidane who is the best Arab player. I don't think you can argue about that. And again, why? Control, balance, grace. 2006 World Cup, came out from retirement, almost won the World Cup for France. One of the greatest ever football players ever. Perhaps one of the greatest central midfielders ever of all time. So, thank you for your question. Nico Boy HD. Hey HH, my name is Nicholas. I'm from Italy but live in the UK. The first video I watched from you was the Man City versus Juventus match review in 2015. My question for you is, do you think teams from other continents, such as the Brazilian League, can be as strong as European teams in the future? Keep up the good work. I don't think so. Because the fact is that European teams have... again, thank you for the question. The European teams have the luxury of having quality South Americans, the defense of Europeans, the impact and electricity and footballing intelligence of Africans, and also the technical abilities of an organizations of the Asians. So they can blend many different styles together to build an amazing team. Whereas how many Europeans, how many Africans go and play in South America, or how many Asians go and play in South America? Not that many. So it's going to be very hard for South Americans to compete. Hence why whenever you see in the Club World Cup, how many times do these South American teams do well against European teams? And I love Corinthians. I'm a big fan of Corinthians, of Flamengo, when Romario used to play there. But it's going to be hard because these South American teams don't have the blend of European, African, and South American as well, which is why it's going to be very hard for them to compete with European teams in the future. Thank you for your question. Rohitaba Ghosh. Who do you think will be Barcelona's manager next season? Also, who do you think Barcelona will sign this summer? So first of all, who do you think will be Barcelona's manager next season? I think, off the top of my head, Sampaoli looks like a strong bet. He keeps on denying it, but if they offer it to him, I think he'll take it. But don't be surprised if they approach Ronald Koeman and they manage to push Ronald Koeman away from his post there, because against Ronald Koeman, he's going to lose Lukaku. He's thinking, without Lukaku, how far can I take this team? Whereas if I'm given an opportunity to take my manager to the next level and to take Barcelona back to the big time, he may take that. He just may take that. So I think it's between that. Who do you think Barcelona will sign this summer? That's a good one. They may look at Bakayoko from Monaco, definitely. They may look at Weigl from Dortmund because they need some midfield strength. But I think I'm looking at those wing backs and they're going to get a wing back, but I'm not sure which wing backs are there readily and available. I mean, Alaba would do well, but I just don't think Bayern Munich will willing to sell Alaba. But that's somebody they look their eyes up. I think the top of Barcelona's list is a right back and a left back. Coutinho is a possibility. Coutinho is a very strong person. I think Coutinho is a strong possibility as well. And so Coutinho, Bakayoko perhaps, Bernardo Silva is another one because again they got Andre Gomez, but I think they got their Portuguese name mixed up. I think they actually meant to go for Bernardo Silva. So I think Bernardo Silva and Coutinho could be two players who they be getting, but they definitely need some defenders. That is for damn sure. Tanya Petrova. Can I just quickly ask Tanya Petrova? Two things. Are you female and are you Russian? I need those answers. So if you're listening to this, Tanya Petrova, I need this answered. Are you female and are you Russian? If you are, okay. Given what he did with Manchester United, winning the Premier League 3 times in a row, and now what looks very likely a La Liga title and being the first team in history to maintain the Champions League, as he said it, does Cristiano Ronaldo, aka Cristina, at the very least deserve to be called the greatest club player to play for 2 clubs? The greatest club player to play for 2 clubs. Even if he didn't win many titles, what Ronaldo did for Inter Milan and Barcelona was exemplary, just on a footballing level. So let's just be real. What he did on a footballing level for those 2 clubs was absolutely exemplary. But that is a very strong argument because Cristiano, I feel if Cristiano had stayed at Manchester United, he would have continued to really break even more records. And who knows how many more titles United could have won. Who knows how many more Champions Leagues they could have won if he had stayed. And he's already one of Real Madrid's greatest ever players. He's the highest ever goal scorer. So, I'm just trying to think of, who could be greater than Cristiano for a player who's played for 2 clubs? Del Piero stayed at Juventus, Totti stayed at Roma, Gerrard stayed for thingy, Maradona mainly for Napoli, Zidane, his height was really for Real Madrid, Henry, his height was really for Arsenal. That's a good one. As in, how many players have truly excelled for 2 clubs? Because I felt that Cristiano didn't actually really reach his potential and his peak for United, but he still was vital, especially his last season before he moved to Real Madrid. So, yeah, man, let me think on that a bit more. Let me think on that, because that's a good question. As in, who is the greatest player to play for 2 clubs? I.e., who has excelled to a high degree for 2 different clubs? But yeah, Cristiano, well, at the moment, you've got to go for Cristina. Thank you for that question. El Pan. Hi, HH. How are you? So funny, man. Do you prepare your scripts, or are you just naturally gifted with the presence of making someone laugh? P.S. Keep up the good work. To be honest, I sometimes find myself funny, but I'm actually surprised that people find myself funny. Because again, what surprises me the most is that people will actually sit down and listen to this dude talk for 7 minutes. Yes, I'm good looking. Yes, I'm hot. Yes, I'm extremely sexy. I know that. Put that to one side. I'm always baffled. That's why I'm always thankful that people can actually appreciate it and listen to me talk for 7 minutes or even longer. I prepare bullet points. I don't actually prepare a script. I just have a blueprint of what I want to say, and I go in there and I say it. And then I think what has helped me is that I started out as an actor, and I deem myself a semi-retired actor. So I'm trying to dip back into acting. I think the acting thing definitely helps because, again, a lot of acting I did was improvisation. And that improvisation of acting, which means you have to think on the spot, definitely has helped me to do this. It is a performance. Even if it is analytical and it's about statistics, there is a performance to do with it as well, which is what helps me. But I think definitely my acting background and my improvisational background has helped me to be able to perform this without having to write a script or do too many rehearsals. Do it in one take and blam. So yeah, thank you for your questions and for your question and your kind words. Christopher, big fan of yours. Started watching your BPL football analysis a few months ago. When asked about young players with the brightest future, Rashford wasn't mentioned. What does Gabriel Jesus and Mbappe have that Rashford does not? Mbappe in particular. That's a great, excellent question. I think Rashford is a great young talent, and I think he's getting even better and better. And for me, even as I say this, this dude, he just scored the winning goal against Celta Vigo. But he's still rash. He's still rash, and he's still rough around the edges. Gabriel Jesus, in my opinion, is technically better. He's a better dribbler. He's better on the ball. And I just think he's much more dependable and consistent when he attacks. There's sometimes Rashford can have an off game. He can be too hot-headed, whereas Gabriel Jesus on a technical footballing level is just has a higher degree to Rashford. Mbappe, for me, like the guy, I think Mbappe and Rashford are closer, but for me, the thing with Mbappe is to do what to do at an elite competition like the Champions League, and it's his effectiveness, his bravery, and I just think he has far more of an impact than Rashford. I don't see Rashford giving Juventus the kind of issues that Mbappe gave Juventus, especially in that first half. And so I just think that, Mbappe, you can already see somebody who is already very mature and already very refined. Because again, Rashford is still rough around the edges. There's an amazing talent there, but I think for Mbappe, you're already seeing the comings of an incredible player who is an amazing at dribbling and who is so smart and knows how to get in good attacking positions and really makes the kind of mistakes that Rashford does. But Rashford, he's getting there. He's definitely getting there, but I think he is a level below Jesus and Mbappe. Okay. Tubula, Fire, or Buddha. Are you living in Nigeria? No, I'm not. I am living on planet Earth. If yes, what state, and if not, what country? So I live on planet Earth. Stroke. I mix my time between France, England, Switzerland, and Mars. But when I am in Nigeria, I am mainly in Lagos. Or my village is in Warri, but it's mainly Lagos, which I mainly go to when I go to Nigeria to see family and friends. Thank you for the question. MC. Hey, I only discovered your channel a few weeks ago, but I absolutely love it. It is great to find someone who has similar opinions about football. I'm not sure if you have answered this question before, but do you think Juve did the right thing signing Pogba, or would he have strengthened the current squad over Pjanic? Keep up the good work, bro. So I mean, I said this like some time ago, like a long time ago, and I still believe in this. Pogba should never have left Juventus. It's the worst move for him, and he will regret it in the long run. For Juventus, I think they did the right thing. Because, yes, they lost a great player who fit them really well. But in selling Pogba, they were able to get the money to have Higuain a bona fide, excellent finishing striker when he decides to. They were able to also put in Pjanic there as well. And in my opinion, this is a stronger Juventus team than we saw last season. So in that sense, Juventus won, Pogba lost, because Pogba has struggled this season. Yes, Pogba has great potential. He could still become one of the best central midfielders that we've seen. But he has struggled. He has struggled. That is the main thing. He has struggled. So Juventus definitely won out. They came up trumps. And they've become better because at the end of the day, they will be playing a Champions League final. Whereas for Pogba, it's touch and go whether he'll actually even be in Europe. Thank you for the question. Sotsa Aondo. Hi, have hope. Recently, you listed the all-time best players to include Ronaldo of Brazil, Maradona, Pele, Messi, and you mentioned Zidane in passing. I never said Messi. No. So, no. Sorry, it's always been Ronaldo, Maradona, Pele, and Zidane. I never said Zidane in passing. Are you crazy? How the hell do you forget Romario? This guy scored up to 1,000 goals like Pele and is very skillful with lots of guile and played and scored in many World Cups and European South American Championships. Explain yourself now. Msog Makodi, Benue State, Nigeria. I will explain myself. Romario is amazing. Look at what Romario did for Barcelona during his time. Kind of goals he has scored and what he did in '94. Romario, like Pirlo, like Riquelme, one of the most unique football players ever to have lived. As in the way that he played, the manner in which he played, his body posture was just a beautiful thing to behold. And he was an amazing technical player that didn't have to overexert himself physically. He was just extremely smart. But when we talk about the all-time greats, not anybody can be an elite. Romario was a legendary player, a super player, but he didn't revolutionize. He didn't completely stand out in the way that Ronaldo did, in the way that Maradona did, in the way that Pele did. Because again, it's about achievements. What did you do under duress? What did you do that was so out of this world? Maradona winning those league titles for Napoli. Ronaldo with an injury, top scorer, leading Brazil to a 2002 World Cup victory. Pele, a bloody 17-year-old, winning the World Cup as a 17-year-old, scoring 2 goals in a final. 12 years later, as a 29-year-old, coming back and saying, you know what, I'm going to ride it again, score and give you some total assists as well. Zidane, 19th World Cup and 2006, coming from retirement, almost winning the World Cup for France. These are great special achievements which Romario doesn't have. But, my friend, that doesn't demean or take anything away from Romario being an exceptional, amazing player. Mile Nojo. Does Cristiano Ronaldo become a horseman if he wins the Champions League back-to-back, making it a total of 4 Champions League trophies and the European trophy with Portugal? Thanks for answering, HH. No, he does not. And I will repeat myself. The minimum requirements of becoming a horseman is a World Cup medal. Without a World Cup medal, I don't even look at your application. The minimum requirement to even be considered, to even be looked at is a World Cup medal. Without a World Cup medal, you cannot be considered to be a horseman. Those are the rules. It's never going to change. And even if Cristiano Ronaldo goes back to back, which will be amazing, it still will not make him to be in consideration for a horseman. Abraham Mayanja. What do English teams need to do to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona? The gap only gets bigger. I don't rate any English team on the level of Real Madrid and Bayern. What do they need to do? They need to stop being obsessed with money, and they need to actually build teams, proper teams that can play tactically. Because what is missing is tactics and particular personnel and player personnel. Because you look at, let's say, Juventus and Real Madrid right now, these teams are built to succeed on the continent because of the players that they have and the chemistry that they have and the tactical understanding that they have. You know, but it really comes down to personnel. The best defense on the planet is Juve's defense. The best midfield partnership is Real Madrid's midfield partnership. So already with that, you're already on a high level. No Premier League club can say, okay, we have the best strikers in the world, or we have the best midfield in the world, or we have the best defense in the world. They can't even say that. So once you're behind there, it's going to be very difficult. So I think for Premier League clubs, it's about building a team with a group of players who understands tactics and who can play in a variety of ways, because the key thing to be so successful on the European level is you need to be able to win close matches. You need to be tactically astute, and you need to know all of the intricacies and delicacies of football, because again, the domestic game is very different from the continental game. The domestic game is not as tactically demanding as the European game on the continent. Roberto Beswick. Hi, Half Hope. If Higuain scores a hat-trick against Monaco, both legs, will he take him out of the Brick Academy? Anyway, keep making good content. If he does, yeah, I will. But he won't. But if he does score a hat-trick against Monaco in both legs, yeah, for sure, I'll take him out of the Brick Academy. But I think he needs to do a lot more than that. Plansod Foji. Hi, my name is Chris, and I want to know from your point of view, why is Barcelona so terrible this season? And what players do you think needs to come in, and the ones you think should leave? So I think I already said about players that should come in for Barcelona. What has been bad so bad this season? Luis Enrique is a crap coach. You can't keep doing the same trick over and over again. MSN, let them win this for us. That's not going to happen. Dani Alves, signing Dani Alves was extremely stupid, and it was rude to think Sergio Roberto would replace him. Iniesta getting older, Busquets getting older, Piqué on a decline. So make sure of players on a decline, a crap manager, players getting older, the seal of Dani Alves, and again, the belief of that MSN will come and save you again. So I think those were the real main issues for why Barcelona flopped this season. I think this is the last one. So again, plans with 4G again. What do you think of these matchups for next year's UEFA Champions League? Chelsea versus Real, or Juve, Dortmund versus Barcelona, or Man City, PSG versus Bayern, Napoli versus Monaco or Dortmund? And what would you rate this year's Champions League out of 10? So Chelsea versus Real or Juve, it depends on who Chelsea gets. If Chelsea can get Koulibaly, they can get a quality striker to replace Diego Costa. I do think that Chelsea can give Real or Juve a game, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard because Real Madrid and Juve, I still think, are on a high level from Chelsea. But Chelsea definitely need some personnel to even try to compete with them. But I would like to see what Hazard would be able to do against those two teams. Dortmund versus Barcelona or Man City. So again, I think that would be exciting. But for Dortmund, they need the defenders. For Barcelona, they need almost a whole new team to support MSN. But I think for Man City, I think they would actually do really well against Dortmund, because I think Man City are going to be one team who are going to get really strong next season and be a force to be reckoned with. I think City will definitely give Dortmund a lot of issues. PSG versus Bayern. Tough, but I do think that I do believe in Bayern a lot more than PSG, and I think PSG are still trying to figure out who they are, whereas at Bayern, they know who they are, so I think Bayern will definitely get the better of them. But again, they need to replace Ribery, they need to bring in some new blood. Neymar, who knows? Napoli versus Monaco or Dortmund. If Monaco don't get raided, I think Monaco can definitely be able to take out Napoli, but it depends if they can keep Mbappe, Bakayoko, Silva, and so forth. Napoli versus Dortmund, I think that'll be an amazing game. That'll be a pretty good game, a very attacking, free-flowing game. And I'll probably give Dortmund the edge, because I just think as good as Napoli, I think Dortmund just have too many dangerous players, especially if you've got Marco Reus, who is fit, and Aubameyang. I just think Dortmund just have too much firepower for Napoli to withstand. And how do you rate this year's Champions League out of 10? Apart from, so rating this Champions League season out of 10, apart from the absolute disgraceful disappointment that was these first leg semi-finals, I think this has been a great Champions League. I think this has been superb. I mean, the quarterfinal matchups were absolutely amazing, and I loved it. And again, it's not finished over. So out of 10, I'd give this an 8.5. Barring these crap fests, I'll give it an 8.5 because I think there have been some really good games, some entertaining games, a lot to talk about. And I think what really gave it that 8.5 was the quarterfinal matchups. Those quarterfinal matchups really took things to a whole different level. And I also remember this is the Champions League of Barcelona, PSG, Barcelona getting shot at against Juventus emerging, Real Madrid emerging themselves as well. That's Madrid, Bayern Munich game, the whole Dortmund thing. So it has definitely been a very... So I'm going to give it an 8.5, definitely an 8.5. So that is it. Guys, remember the next Q&A will be happening next Friday. Thank you for your questions. Again, if you want to ask me the questions to be read out for next Friday's Q&A, head to the website halfhopefootballhot.com. Front page or any page, top left-hand corner, click on Ask HH. You click there, you send me an email, any question you want being asked. Remember, state your name, where you're writing from, and I will answer that question as well. Guys, thank you very much. Remember, spread the word, share the word. We're coming at you, the Half of Football Hot. Peace, stay true, and stay black.